everybody.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, welcome back. Welcome back,
I'm
sweetheart.
so glad to be back. I missed you guys.
You're very, very well missed.
Oh, it was really tough. I had a tough few days, but moving on, feeling better, and thinking about today. Every day is a gift.
That's right. Every day you wake up.
That's right. I learned something from a very nice lady this past weekend, and I'm going to repeat it, and it is be here and now.
What is it?
Be, you have to be, you have to be, you have to think about here,
right,
and you have to think about now.
Okay.
And you have to be there with an attitude of gratitude. And that's my new thing for this month. And I learned it from a very nice lady who got me through a tough weekend. So it's nice to be back, and nice to see you. You're looking handsome as always.
Oh, thank you, love. You look marvelous.
And we had, look at that.
I always have to check.
No cleavage.
Because she wears cleavage, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of show she's on.
Yeah.
You know, but
no cleavage today. It's a beautiful day. It's
yes,
sunny.
it is.
And it's going to be nice. And I have some really great guests here today. We have Paula Young. We have a story about Paula and how I met her. And also Tiffany DeRosie, and she has stories too. And they're both originals from the original Breakfast Club.
Yes.
And it's unbelievable how they're growing. And yeah, it's unreal. Years go by and you reconnect. And it's really nice to see you both. You both look terrific.
You look great, guys.
Really?
Well, say I look good too for crying out loud. I'm telling everybody they look good, and everybody's looking at me like, all right, what else?
Well, yes, thank you, we know.
Thank you. Okay, that's it.
Carry on, yes,
I love this.
You're a good looker.
Yeah, well, everybody thinks you're gorgeous.
Oh,
So.
stop.
Yes, you do. They do. I get letters. I get texts about how handsome he is.
Okay.
Who's your host? How do I meet your host?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I don't
Listen,
know.
She's been away too long.
So anyway, welcome to both of you. The first thing we do on the show is we break bread. We take that home
Oh,
because
sweet.
bread is all about relationships. Italian bread.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
what
is,
I needed.
She goes with soup.
yeah,
Have some soup later.
yeah. And I actually had probably about 2 gallons of soup the last 3 days
Oh, okay.
because I had some congestion and stuff. So yeah, feeling pretty good. And looking forward to spring, Easter. Happy Passover to everybody.
That's over.
And now Easter's going to be this week, and I think people are going to actually be able to start to get together.
Yes.
Did he say, but did he, no, I think he mentioned that the 4th of July.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah,
like
it's
small
4th of July,
gatherings. And I know they're allowing weddings with, more people now.
Yeah, they increased the wedding amount, yeah.
Yeah, so,
But you know what the worst part is? You can't dance.
Yeah, that is nice.
You know, so when everybody's here, you got to see the way
night is
I mean,
awesome.
everybody knows the way we run this operation with the manager and assistant manager. They really take care of everything. And everything is, of course, safely distanced, but you have a band that's playing and there's song that you really like.
So
And
stand there.
you can't even, I mean, listen, do I let you stand in your spot and move? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But there are places you cannot get up from your seat.
Well, I've been training for this all my life. Then. I go to parties, I chair dance all the time. The same energy, even with the last song, I get up and dance. So that's
See, look, you chair dance and but she pole dance.
you believe that one. They know me, so they know what
It's okay.
You have portable
But
poles.
they don't know you out there. I'm joking.
We'll get to know her really well.
That's it.
I like coming here. It's different,
Oh, this
and
is a
everybody,
great place.
let me tell you, at G's, everybody's so friendly.
Yes.
It's a very nice place.
Greg has a staff to die for.
Yes.
Very
Well, you have a
supportive.
great manager owner. The staff is
Very,
supposed to be
very
great.
impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got all the
Quality.
goodies.
No, boy, look at this, boy.
Boy, he's
I
got
get
a
everything,
lot
but I
of-
look good. But anyway, that's good.
No, really, it's just tucked away and
Thank you,
people
thank
wouldn't
you.
know it was there, and then you walk in and it's this beautiful club,
Yeah.
and I'm saying to myself, I want to come here.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
can.
listen, you have to, especially because we always have live music on Friday and Saturdays.
Oh,
And so, outside, it's going to be set up soon.
Yeah,
So you
outside
have,
is
it's
beautiful.
really nice. The way the live music is outside, so you
Oh,
get to
wow.
sit and relax. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can bring friends, and
That's
it's really
it.
nice.
please let me know. I've been looking for something to enhance my life. The pandemic, the COVID drain on social
Right.
people.
Yeah, it's true.
Calling each other, not calling each other, going out. I think I've been out 12 times, like once a month
In a year.
in a year.
Wow.
And that's being overly cautious. But you know what? They scared me good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
And you know what? You could control a lot more with fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's exactly
Whatever
what
it
they did.
is,
They
out
really
of
did
control.
the fear of everything in you. And I mean, listen, it's there. And that's one thing I never like to
That's
talk about much because I've lost a lot of friends. And so, and you turn around and everybody's starting to come back. I mean, I think for the next couple of years, people still probably will wear masks. You know, not as much. I mean, like now I'm watching people. They just, you know, they don't even have the mask on. I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, but that's
And
not
so,
true.
right,
That's
so,
not good.
so,
Yeah, we
because
need to
there
be a
was somebody
little
on the news that 2 people got vaccinated and they got COVID.
Yeah.
It's just like when you get the flu shot.
Yeah.
What, does that mean you're not gonna get the flu? You're gonna get the flu.
Well, but you won't get it as bad.
That's what they say. When I had a flu shot, I ended up in a
Well,
hospital because I got the flu and it was even twice as bad as what I would have ever gotten it.
wow.
That's right, yeah.
I just
I look
think
like a guppy fish. I mean, meanwhile, my doctor turns around, the greatest guy, and he retired. And his wife, she worked in there, and one day I go in there and she just had my shirt off and was checking me, whatever, and she just goes, and then just boom, gives me a shot. I said, what are you doing? She goes, oh, you gotta get the flu shot. I said, I didn't want the flu shot. I said, your husband, which is the doctor, doesn't take it. And if he tells me not to take something, I'm not taking it. And all of a sudden, when I tell you, I left, got into the car, started sweating a little bit, went home, started the paperwork, and all of a sudden, my eyes were bothering me, and I started getting flush, hot, whatever. Ended up right now in the ER.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's like it's not for everybody.
That's
You know
part
what I
of
mean?
the
It's not for
problem.
everybody.
That's part of the problem. We all hear stories.
Right,
like
that's
that.
it.
And so do you take it,
Right.
don't you take it? And it's very disheartening that nobody agrees on it.
Right.
And we're all out here being poked and prodded.
It's it. Yeah.
I just tell people do as you see fit.
Right.
Don't make someone feel bad because they do.
Right.
Don't make
No,
someone feel
you
bad
can't.
because they
It's
don't.
sad. You're right.
You know, everyone's choice is yours, and at the end of the day, we should all still be
And respect
cautious.
it.
But then
Right.
humans are gonna make you feel bad when you
That's
don't
right.
agree with them. You
Well,
know,
that's
but-
very true. There's a lot of that
It
crap
is.
going on Facebook.
Yeah. So, but you know, I tell people I know, people I work with, hey, do as you see fit.
Right.
Whatever I see fit to do, I will do it. And me and my family, we come together as a family to decide what we're
Right.
gonna do.
See,
You know, I've had
that's
someone
great.
say, "Oh, you guys are scared to die if you get it." No, it's nothing to do
Where
with
did that?
it.
See, look, where did that come from?
Some
Are you
people
scared
just,
to die?
I guess they're just trying to, because they've done
Right.
it, so they want me to do it. And I said, listen, I'm proud of you. Do as you so choose,
Right.
and I'm going to do as I so choose. But you're not going to make me feel bad if I do or don't get it, because
Exactly.
it's my choice and it's my body. You know, and I know, and again, they're saying, well, it's not just about you, it's about everybody else. Okay, well, I make sure that I do my testing.
Right.
I wear my mask. You know, I keep my distance from people. You know, visiting my grandparents, I make sure, like, if I've been out and about all day, I'm not going to go to my grandparents' house. I'll go home, shower, whatever, or tell them I'll see them the next day when I know I'm coming straight from home. So you do as you see fit to your lifestyle, you know, but everyone doesn't understand that. You can't make everybody understand, you know.
But you know what? Each of us has a responsibility.
Yes.
To do
Oh,
the right thing.
absolutely.
Yes.
And that makes it happen more often.
Yes.
Exactly.
Instead of being shamed or
Right.
criticized.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I said, oh, I'm sorry. I just got caught back to make some comments here. Today is it okay? Look, you know what I have to.
I haven't bothered you in a
Susan,
while.
I have to tell you
Yeah.
something. Please do me a favor. Now, Susan Pickney she's a sweetheart. She's a gem, a class act. I say it every time. I need one thing. Susan, by the way, she gave me these beautiful
Look at these
Easter.
gorgeous Easter eggs.
All right.
So pretty.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Susan.
See, now
That's
since
all.
you came into the picture more, she doesn't bring anything. Look, she used to bring the coffee, whatever. Now it's like, I see her walk in, I don't even look, where's Susan?
No,
Okay?
it's not
Because-
Easter. Thursday's our Easter show.
Well, that's got nothing to do with the person going to Israel. But I'm talking about just to, you know, a little, oh, she brings me the nose.
Yeah, I brought him the nose. I brought him the nose.
Answer no,
And
though.
don't say anything. I brought you a gift. Look at this. From Taz.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Wasn't that cute? That was when we had the
Yeah, she does
movie
like the
producers
cartoon.
on.
She,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, he says I don't bring him
Yeah,
anything.
first of all, wait. See, look, see what she just did right now. She goes, look, I bring you something all the time. She shows it to me and then she takes it back.
No, I'm not
So,
touching
oh no,
it.
now, of course, now I put you on. Oh, look. And you know what? She gives me the copy one. She keeps a nice one. I love you too, sweetheart.
That's cute, isn't it?
Yes.
Very cute. Taz, she's a doll.
But, oh, I'm sorry. Today is National Chiffon Cake Day
Oh.
and National Mom and Pop Business Owners Day. Definitely. National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Hoorah.
Today is
And-
Veterans Day, right?
No,
No, Vietnam War.
Vietnam
Oh,
War Veterans Day.
And Nevada? What's that?
Nevada Day.
National Nevada Day.
No,
State of
Nevada. I don't even know.
Nevada?
Nah, it would say something. Yeah, it would say more than that.
All
It must
right.
mean something.
Okay.
But yeah. So this weekend, I got to tell you, I had a pretty good weekend. I'm really happy. See, look, we were just talking about memory. I can't remember something that just happened over the weekend. I'm trying to think of the band. Yeah, I'm going with the bands.
Rick,
I'm going.
it's only that your recall button is very slow.
Slow. That's it.
That's
It's
a
buffering.
good
Remember?
one.
It's buffering.
We
Okay,
have
listen.
experts
Well, you know,
today.
I just have to mention, we were talking, we had, wait, 5 Stone. Guys, I love you to death. 5 Stone. It's a great band. And I never knew, I mean, they've been playing there for a good year or whatever. I never knew that the lead singer, Diane, and the keyboardist, Greg, which is a great name like mine, they're married. Okay, that's fine. But he's a doctor, she's a nurse.
Oh my
And I
God.
can tell you something. One day, I'm not feeling well or whatever, and so he comes right over to me. He goes, "What's the matter?" He goes, "You're not looking so good." And he turns around and he goes, "How'd you?" He starts asking me like medical questions, and I'm saying to myself, "Dude, you're a band player. I said, you play keyboard.
wow,
Why you?"
that's
You know,
funny.
I didn't say anything to him. And then she came over later when I was in the kitchen. She goes, "Yeah, you're looking a little sweaty. Wait, what's the matter?" And I'm like, "What is with these people?" I was very happy. I said, "You know what? They're really, really nice people." I said, "Look, the band is so concerned." And they said, I was like, "Wow, they really want to play here again." You know what I mean? So, but then I found out, and I got to tell you, I love them. They're really wonderful, wonderful. And then I had the, it's 45, see, I get confused. It's RPM and Friends. Because there was another band that's close. And thank you guys so much. And,
It was a good week.
no, it really was. It was a great week. My son, my little son's playing football, and I'm so excited
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like I get to relive, you know, what my oldest son
Sure,
is.
yeah, that's great.
And so it's like really, and then last night I'm putting this cabinet together. This buffering part that you want to talk about with the brain, we'll talk about that later. I didn't even think I had a buffer in my brain. We're sitting there, and this box, I don't even know how UPS delivered this thing. Because I got 4 boxes. One, I got an extra one,
Oh, geez.
right? And my son and my daughter said, "Guys, I can't pick this up." I said, "Both you guys can pick it up the stairs and whatever." So, and they're yelling back and forth, "Well, pick this up, da, 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 da." And I said, "Listen, guys, here's the choice. You won't play Roblox, which she loves her computer, and you're not playing Xbox. If that's not up on top of the stairs, and I don't want to hear a peep." Not even 3 minutes later. It was up, yeah. Putting this thing together. Now, I didn't finish. It was like 4 hours. But I gotta tell you, the cabinet is so heavy. I forgot. I should have built it in his room, because that's where it was going. So I turned around, I was like, "Oh man." You know, I'm always because you know what? All 3 of us are sitting there. Every time I ask for a letter, she's on a computer. Every time I ask him for whatever panel, and he's on his computer. And I'm like, "Guys, you're supposed to be helping me." And they said, "Yeah, we're sitting here helping you." You know, but they're on the computer. But it was good. I just had a wonderful weekend, and watching them play football and other
That's
friends.
great.
And I had some very good friends on when you weren't here on Thursday from Kiwanis. And I was really upset because they turn around and a lot of times Facebook, like, you can understand they don't want to do political and things like that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was anything political, but guys, don't worry, I'm going to do something for that. But they came over and they were nothing but a 3 brains full of knowledge about Kiwanis, and I was really happy that they came on. So, not that I'm not happy that you guys.
Yeah, I watched it.
It's
great.
yours.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a great company, great
Yeah,
organization.
really.
Really nice.
But other than that, you have to help me with my book one day.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I do want to write a book, but I turn around and say to myself, who really wants to read my book?
I do.
No, honestly. I go,
I don't know.
what am I going to do? Well, I was born in Harlem. I was 7 years old. You know, I rather just say, listen, I just remember waking up in prison doing, you know, whatever it is, and da-da-da-da. No, I'm joking. But you know what? That'll catch your attention, though. The first thing you want to tell you, like, oh my God. That's the first thing you started with.
You know, writing a book, I think, is a very personal thing.
Right.
So that you're reliving your life.
Right.
And it's not an easy road to go
No,
on.
but
Right.
it does
But
change your life.
it can direct you. It can help you find your passion by putting out all your experiences.
Well,
So
speaking
here we
of
are,
that,
55 years old, what kind of passion
look,
do you have now?
hey, I wrote my book at
55. You're just
60.
beginning, son.
I love this. You know what? Look at this. I love this. Now I'm a stud.
Now
Before we
the
couldn't find a word for me. Now I'm a stud.
Now this trial is just beginning, darling. This is
You know what I'm
the
going to tell
rest of your
you?
life.
Listen, I have to say one thing. I'll be 55 July 13th. July 13th. Reminding everyone, July 13th.
what a Thursday, there's
All
going to be
right.
a cruise.
Gifts, hugs, and everything all accepted.
A cruise.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
I'm on it.
Black
you're
and
gonna be
white.
there? Yeah, you definitely have to come. It's in Freeport. It's a black and white. But
wow.
black and white, not like tuxedo.
Yeah, black and white.
Yeah, black, or either way. You
Or white,
will
black.
be there.
Yes.
Yeah, you can
I have
And
a
I'll
blind, look, I have a blind dress.
Okay, there we go. Look at this, now I forgot the trend. What would they say?
Writing a book, why would I do it?
And being 55.
55 is what I was talking about. You just said I'm just a kid, okay? And I understand that. I turn around when people say that to me. All right, they're in this age. I'd say more 65 and up will say that. So someone at 65, 10-year gap, whatever, and they're like, oh, you're just a kid. And I have to tell you something. When I see a 40-year-old and he says, oh, I'm 40 years old, like you're just a baby.
Right.
Right, I say that a lot.
Not realizing when you do get older, every year matters.
Yes.
It really, really
And
does.
every year gets better if you know how to make it that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's it. But I gotta tell you, she has to introduce this husband, whatever is this your husband, blah blah blah. I don't want to ruin it, but when I asked her, you know, he looked really, really familiar to me. And I'm looking at him, he's like, yeah, how are you? And I was like, is that your husband?
Howard.
Okay. What do you refer him to?
I say he's fine.
Oh, you forgot. There you go. You're out of here. You're out of here. We got a buffer.
He's my partner in love and life. I picked that up from a singing group that I once saw, how the wife introduced her accompanying pianist. And I thought that was the perfect way, you know,
It's
to
very nice, actually.
announce a relationship that is what it is, you know, and it works for us for 30 years.
Which is great.
And they never had a fight.
Well, we have.
Well, he never won a fight.
We have differences of opinion, and we sit down and we talk about it. And we find out what's behind my need for it, what's behind his need for it, and how we can compromise.
But you still win, though.
No, it's not about
No.
winning.
No.
Ray, I'm going to have to
Really?
argue with you.
Really? Oh, so, well, then you know what?
That's
Then that's
the problem.
wonderful. Because you know what? Then that's wonderful if that's the case.
That's the
Really,
problem.
if you guys
They agree
literally
to
sit
disagree.
and you disagree and you discuss it,
It's not
that I
about
think
winning.
that's wonderful.
You know what? We both want to win. A win-win situation is a very good relationship.
No, it's very true. Very
So
There's no
each
competition.
one's
Right.
ego has to be checked at the door,
true. Right.
you know, because it's too important.
Well, when you mature, it's different. You know.
No, don't say that. People don't want you. Listen,
Well-
I agree with you.
Yeah, but
But
not
not everybody
everybody's
really
like that.
matures.
When
Well,
you
that's
open
true.
yourself up to mature.
Right.
Some people
And you're willing to
not.
get right.
Right. You open yourself up to
You have to
mature.
have that point
Yeah,
of view that
yeah.
this, I loved him when I met him, and I still love him.
Right.
Oh, look at
Howard.
Howard.
He's smiling with a
Howard.
big smile
Good
over
answer.
there.
Good answer. You know that.
But it's true.
That's nice.
Howard, we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
So let's talk about you. Your life changed from your book, Funky Monkey, right?
Monkey, I don't see the rock star monkey.
Rockstar
See what
Monkey.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, Well, I was thinking of
Funky
Funky
Monkey's
Color.
ice cream, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Monkey.
Funky Monkey.
Rockstar Monkey.
Yeah.
That's when you
Yes.
started, and now look
Yes.
at you. You do what? You're a podcast. What's it called?
Cousin's Corner podcast.
And
We
is
just
your
started.
cousin here on Long Island or no?
I know. Actually, she lives in Vermont, so
Okay.
we do it virtually together.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
so we record.
And how did you get that started?
I'll try to make a long story short because I like to talk a lot. So years ago, I actually wanted to like have my own TV show or a radio show, something, and never happened. And I talked to people who said they wanted me to be part of their podcast. I was like, okay, no problem. Nothing came from it. And then last year, around I think like November, my cousin was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. You want to do it with me? And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And I was like, what do I need to do? And she was just like, well, you need a microphone, a headset, and I don't know, something else. And I was like, all right, cool. I went on Amazon, got my microphone, got my headset. I was like, now what? And yeah, and she's like, well, I don't know, do this app, Anchor. That's how we started with Anchor. And I was like, okay, I downloaded it, now what? And so I think my issue is she got me going. And I
Yeah,
love
you
it, but
always need somebody to
right,
push
because
you.
I'm a researcher. So I wanted to do a podcast, I wanted to do this thing. I was like, well, let me look it up first. Let me see what it entails. And then you start researching, and then it was all this stuff that became overwhelming because I was like, I need this, I need a booth, I need a this. And it was really just a microphone, headset, and stuff.
Exactly. People don't realize.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think I'm such an overthinker and an over-researcher that I think sometimes that kind of prohibits or pushes me from starting something that I want to start. So with her, she's like, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, she told me when I needed, I did it, and we started. So our first episode was in December. We did a Christmas special.
Right.
And then we'll be doing our 7th or 8th episode actually this Thursday.
Congrats.
Thank
Congrats.
That's great.
What's it focus on?
We just talk. We try to have, again, I'm kind of like structural, so I always have to have outline and stuff, but we usually try to do things based around the month, like just coming up, we do like a March Madness situation, but we don't know much about sports. But it was also Women's History Month, so we did some sports trivia, we talked about women in sports, we did things like that. This coming up, on Thursday, we're going to talk about a little bit about Easter. It's a little comedy because I love laughing and joke. It'll be April 1st when it comes out, so we'll do that. And then next month for April is different women's medical things. I'm not saying the right words, but we have a nurse coming on who talks about maternal health and wellness. So we just try to do things, according to
Outside of the box.
Yeah. And then we just talk and laugh and share stories. And for us, it's really just a way of just sometimes just releasing stuff that we're dealing with, and it may help somebody, it may not, we may think we're crazy at times, but we just have a good time. We reconnected a relationship that we kind of had lost because we were like sister cousins. We used to live together and stuff. So, yeah, so it's just a good time of just us talking, laughing.
And the Rockstar Monkey was from an experience you had with a child.
Yeah, so Rockstar Monkey I actually published, I can't believe it's been 5 years.
I
published it in 2016. But yeah, it was when I was a nanny, a young girl, she loved monkeys, and we were doing story time, and I just sat down and wrote the book for her to read to her sometimes at night, and that kind of catapulted me writing children's books. So I've written 14 children's books, but I've only published Rockstar Monkey. And,
will you do another one then?
Yeah, well, I'm actually looking to publish my next book around September, but this is not for kids. It's like for young teens and adults and stuff like that.
What's the name of it?
I finally have a name. It's called Let's Make Life Happen.
Nice.
Oh, that's
And it's just, I'm always about encouraging people. Rockstar Monkey is about encouraging children, to get out there and believe in themselves and push to achieve their dreams, regardless of who they are, where they come from, or even what people oppose, saying to them. So I think Let's Make Life Happen is me just encouraging adults, because sometimes we have these dreams and goals as kids, and life hits,
And that's it.
But it's never too late to still make your life happen. So I talk about some stuff that I've gone through that's helped me, and then just other stuff. I let people know I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. I'm just a certified professional Tiffany.
That's
All I know how to do
You
is
got a PhD in that. You got a
That's
PhD
it.
in that.
But I know when I've gone through it, if something I've experienced or learned helps somebody else, then why not talk about it? And then I do little things in there, little activities and stuff like that, and it's actually helping me now. And I didn't want to be. And I think I held onto this book for a while because I've had it for years, and I just finished it last year during the pandemic because I was home. But I didn't want to publish it. I always kept saying I wanted to wait for the right time, but I didn't want to be the type of author that published something that I wasn't about. I didn't want to publish it and not be about it. So I had to go back and read the book again for myself, and now I'm putting into practice what I'm encouraging others to do.
That's great.
So I'm getting to a point now. I'm like, all right, I think you know what, September would be good.
You're comfortable with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And then you
promising.
also freelance.
I do.
You've
I
done
do
a few little things
freelance
for
writing.
me and
Yes.
some other people that I know.
She's
Yes.
done a lot of things.
Yeah.
She's done a
Well,
lot
I'm
of
a
things.
Valentino. I don't have a problem.
She
Valentino.
never said no.
Valentina has, you know, I'm telling you,
She'll always keep you busy, whether
yeah,
you like it or
we
not.
talked for a long time, and then she'll call and be like, hey, I got a project, you want to do it? For her, it has to be really busy for me to say no. If I can do it, I tell her absolutely,
That's
because
true.
she's always just...
Because it usually leads to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
what happens,
I've written, I wrote a couple of articles for Chris.
Right.
For-
Well, she
for
writes
Vogue
Vogue
magazine.
magazine,
Yeah.
which is a super plus size magazine
Yes.
for beautiful women. And look at her.
No, it's beautiful women, also beautiful men.
Yes,
Yes.
he has the Vogue
He has
magazine.
a
I have the bold section on the
Yes,
next
he's
side.
in the boat.
See how easy you forget?
Yeah, he had a beautiful article
Oh,
too.
man. It's
Yes,
a
he
rough
did.
round,
He
rough
did.
round.
But so I do. I read a couple of articles, and I do enjoy ghostwriting. For those of you
Yes,
who know, ghostwriting
anybody
is,
should do that.
you know, someone has an idea that they want, but they're not sure how to really put it together. I work with them to put it together.
Oh,
And
wow.
I write it for them with their ideas, and then I write it, and I don't get credit, but I don't do what I do for credit. You know what I mean? If I want credit, I put my own stuff in.
Right.
But I like to be able to help people bring their thoughts together and put it out there.
All I have to do
Not
is give her my
everyone's
name,
able-
and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, she's very gifted.
Very, very
Now-
good.
Gotta give a little quick shout out. Jenny A, Jenny C. Jenny C, you're very well missed. I love you very much.
miss
hon.
you, Jenny.
Stop it. Good morning, good morning. We have Susan. Denise writes, good afternoon. Denise, this is what I'm talking about. Good afternoon. Are we in the morning time?
This is the morning show.
You're fired, okay?
No, wait a minute.
Oh.
We're on the cusp.
Yes,
No,
it's the
no.
morning
What you
show.
got? No. It's the morning one.
Okay.
It's the morning one. Could I say good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon? No. Saba, good morning. How are you? Phil, how you doing? Phil, thanks again for everything you do. You know that. Francisco, look at him. He's an amazing guy. He really is. And Marge. She goes, oh, wait, Marge, I just missed it. Wait, let me see that way. It says perfect ladies at the end of the March, Women's Month. Of course, she had to say that. Marge has a great husband. Anyway, Teresa and Andrew from Belmore Kiwanis. He's going to stay around for a very long time. Right, Andrew?
Better.
Right, Andrew? Answer me. I'm talking to you. Claudia, how you doing? Stacy, good morning, and thanks for your help again. Susan Garion, it's Garion? She writes, nice soft lighting. Do I look good with lighting?
Ooh.
I like that. I like that.
Right?
Heidi.
Sean,
I love
that's
you.
Susan.
Sean.
Oh, Sean?
Sorry,
Sean.
Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Sean.
Oh, Sean. Sorry, Sean. All right, yes, I look good with lighting. I'll take it. Eric, Heidi does a lot of work. I have to tell you, she's with Kiwanis. And Heidi, I'm sorry I didn't have your challenge coin. I have a challenge coin, and she gave me a challenge coin. And she was on the show, and I'm really, really sorry. Because she has this, the thing with the life support.
Yeah,
And
she's
I believe
terrific.
they saved. Heidi, you gotta correct me on that, okay?
Save some kids, yeah.
How many kids they saved in such a short time?
Yes. So
But Heidi, she's an amazing woman. She really, really is. She's no joke. And everybody else, I'll say hi in a minute. But I just wanted to
yeah.
just give a few shout outs there.
Okay, so getting back to you, the last thing that I want to talk about is your modeling, which you are doing fabulous. I see the modeling that you do on Facebook, like on your own.
Yeah, that's my independent no pay modeling.
Right. But
if anyone from Torrid is watching and you would like to hire me, Torrid, as your model, because I am wearing Torrid attire. Hint, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to work with you guys.
Yeah, and
Yeah, right. I'm doing independent. Well, you know what?
Independent, right.
People always tell me I'm pretty and things like that, and I always wear different, hairstyles and stuff. And I don't know, I just take my own selfies. Sometimes the filters help. And
well, you do a great
thank
job
you.
on your
And
own
then I
photos.
just post it
Look
like
into
that.
that. Look into
We
that
just- you know
camera.
what I
Let
can
people
tell you?
see that
Oh,
face of yours.
We just, there you go. And throw a little fan and do the Beyonce thing.
Yeah.
I don't want it to blow back.
Okay.
It's a wig, and I don't have bobby pins in it, so if the fan is too high, it might blow
I'll catch it.
off. And then you'll see my jailbreak. So I don't want to do that.
You're the only person I know that looks different in every photo.
Yeah.
She changes her look, her style,
Oh, that's
her
great.
hair, her
That's
makeup,
wonderful.
every photo.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, because then that
Yeah,
one
the
time is going to be the one that,
Yeah, well, like you said earlier, and my mom tells me too, I need to probably step out a little bit more.
yeah, you
But
should
as you were
really,
speaking to too, I'll say this, I don't think that modeling is my main
Right.
thing.
no, but it's an extra.
Yeah, so I think if
Right.
it was something that's like, yeah, I really wanted to do modeling, I think I'd push myself
Right.
a little bit more and step out there. I guess I'm also kind of looking someone with the sweat pros and be like, yeah, I need to hire her as a model.
Well,
Who
Lifetime,
knows? But, you know, it's not one of my big moves.
another good one is Lifetime.
You see,
You should look into Lifetime.
we were talking.
They have a model thing going on.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about earlier in the show. I did a little bit of modeling, blah blah blah. And there's this, and they always say if somebody really really wants you, you don't have to go out because there's this one agency. He was a friend of mine, and I think back then he was charging like $1,500 to do a portfolio.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, this is like 20 years, 25 years ago, and that's a lot of money that you're gonna invest into a portfolio. But he does great work, and his partner said if they really want you, like a big company or whatever, they'll pay for all that stuff, and I understand. And I remember this woman, we were telling the story before, she says, she goes, yeah, we're gonna do modeling, whatever. She goes, look, I'm gonna make you look really different, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. So I had to bring a suit. She wanted things with like vest and shorts, and not even shorts, I don't even say shorts. Because all I know is, I'm taking pictures, we're at a train place, and I'm leaving on the train like this, whatever, and that led from the train back to, we didn't get on the train, but it led back to her studio. And the next minute, I gotta tell you, I'm butt naked. I'm butt naked with a sheet around me, like Caesar or something.
Right,
And she's like, no, you have to just show a little. And I'm sitting there going, is this like a, yeah, it must have been a Roman shoot or
That's
something.
funny.
You know, take your clothes off. It's gonna help them. Trust me, I'm telling you. Yeah, so and I thought I was like getting interviewed for like a Pornhub or something.
Well, maybe you were.
Well, I'll
You
just
didn't
say
know
too,
it.
but I think nowadays too, social media helps a lot more.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes like, not even that long ago, but some years back you didn't really have social media. You had to do portfolios.
Right, and then you mail outs, do
Right,
tons
and
of
it's
mail
not like
outs.
the portfolios and headshots aren't still good for some stuff, but there's so many people that just go on Instagram and just
Do it
take
themselves.
photos
That's right.
themselves and they get picked up.
That's right.
So, that definitely helps because I actually went through an agency, and I won't say any names, but I did a photo shoot with their photographer. It was nice because it got me comfortable. I've always been comfortable doing plus size. I've never really, been like any type of way about that. But I've never really been comfortable doing like a photo shoot. So I was excited to do the photo shoot because it did make me feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
with
you got
myself. It was
loosens up.
exploring, what outfits I could wear and stuff like that. But he did a horrible job. And
Wow.
he's a makeup artist because not everyone can
That's
do
right.
makeup to every body.
Right.
And she did a horrible job. And like one of the pictures you can see, I have a mustache. It's light. I call him Pedro. He's light, but I don't wax him because it's not always a heavy situation.
You call your mustache Pedro.
Me and Pedro, we've been together for a long time. When I do my makeup, you don't see it. When she did my makeup,
Oh, jeez. I like
he made his
that.
own photo shoot pretty much. So it was just like, it was a good experience, but my mom was like, you could have did this yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I didn't know, because the agency told me to get the photo shoot.
Right.
Well,
you
you
learn
try
as you go.
exactly.
It was expensive. It was expensive learning. I probably
Yeah.
didn't want to learn,
Well,
but
we all make
you learn
mistakes.
as you go.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
right.
why right now.
That was what makes you the age that Greg is. Top of his game.
Time to go, guys. It was nice meeting everybody.
He's been through the mill with all these trial and
I
everything.
need some help there, buddy.
Help me, Howard. Help me, Howard.
Oh, yeah, so
Well, okay. Well,
Sure.
okay, but
It is.
you are a success. I'm telling you.
I think.
And since I met you, you are really
Thank you.
soared.
Thank you very
So
much.
congratulations on that. So now, Paula,
Yes.
how did I meet you on the golf course?
Wait, no, this is a good one. Wait.
It is.
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
She,
She has a
In a
different
golf-
memory of mine than
Yeah.
I
I met her back in the days at CMP. Okay, when we did golf outings.
do. Right. And sorry about that. And I do laughter,
She's a laughter coach.
a
Oh, really?
laughter coach.
Okay.
Yes. I do laughter for the health of it.
Yes.
You know, we used to laugh a lot when we were kids, but all of a sudden life got kind of serious and
Yeah.
people stopped laughing.
That's for
Or
sure.
someone saw you laughing and they said, I'll give you something to laugh about.
Yeah, that's what-
And you stop laughing.
That's right.
So now we have at a point in our lives where we need to have some laughter for the health of it. You know the saying, laughter is the best medicine?
That's right.
Well, but you don't do it on a regular basis, because not everybody likes jokes or
Wasn't
comedy.
there a movie based on that Adam Patch? About the tree?
Patch Adams.
Is it Patch Adams? Yeah.
I met him.
Oh,
I met him.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a true story.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And there's another doctor. Sorry about my throat. Anyway, I saw an article in a newspaper about 20 years ago about laughter workshops, laughter clubs. And I called the newspaper and I found out about the person who wrote the article. I called him up because my specialty in school in Adelphi was psychology. So I was interested in all these mind-body kind of situations. And so I called the man who wrote the article. I asked him about me joining one of the workshops. And he said, well, we don't have any in Oceanside. I live in Oceanside. So I said to him, you will, meaning that I was so intrigued with the laughter for the health of it that I got trained to be a laughter leader.
And that's how I met her, because she did, for our golf outing, she got the guys ready before golf with the laughter seminar outside on the greens.
Yeah, but that's a little, because to me, I mean, it's like tennis. I love tennis, and I love golf, but I just don't like it when it comes to having a putt. But I'm trying to figure out because that's such a serious game, you got to focus. So.
No. It had nothing to do with the game.
Oh,
of
okay.
It was a warm-up thing.
Oh, okay.
Warm up outside, you know.
So like what you're saying in regards to, like, you would think
Right.
they don't need to,
Right.
it's a serious situation. You don't
Right.
focus on golfing.
Right.
So it's
It just
completely
happened
interesting.
to
Right.
be that's where
Okay.
she asked me to do my services
Right.
Before
as a
the outing.
warm-up, like a luncheon or whatever. And so people got to be little, interactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you want me to show you what I do?
Yes.
Okay, well, it starts with a mantra. And the mantra that I teach is called Ho, Ho, Ha, Ha, Ha. Ho, Ho, Ha, Ha, Ha. Ho, Ho, Ha, Ha, Ha.
Thank you. But your host.
Now, Greg, we have to add, pay attention. We have to add some exercise. So we go like this. Ho, ho, no, not yet. Now we put them together. It goes ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha,
That's what we used to say with the name.
Look at Jenny.
Yeah, seriously. That's what we would say with the
Howard. Look, everybody's laughing.
It's true. Because that's what we used to say when the neighbor walked by.
Right.
Oh.
I see where it works.
It does work.
Well, I teach a little bit more. Let me show you this.
Here we go.
One thing to do is it's called gradient laughter. And what it is you start with a smile, you go with a giggle, and then you go with a laugh. So let's start. Smiling,
Smile, everybody.
giggle,
Wow. I started. Boy, if I could see my neighbor now.
Great way to start your show with everybody laughing.
Yeah.
Now there's another one that I want to show you that's really cool. I know, Greg, you're loving this. Now this is if you have an axe to grind with somebody, but you don't want to be, nasty or vile or whatever. So I call it the "I'll show you" laughter, and it goes like this.
Then you pull out the knife, right?
Anyway, it's an icebreaker. You laugh for the health of it, and we all know that laughter is the best medicine.
Yes. Right.
So it gives you a permission to bring some laughter into your life for no reason but health.
And you know what? She'll be our guest speaker at the first Breakfast Club meeting in May that we're having, the reunion.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be the guest speaker. But she's really, she stands up, she holds her belly, she does a lot of different
Laughter
things.
comes from
And
the
that's
depths.
it.
Yes.
That's right.
And she really, and
And
then,
then some guys.
yeah.
But laughter is, remember this, laughter is the best medicine.
It is.
And we need to have a little bit more laughter in our lives. And there's not so much to laugh about. So I bring it for the health of it.
That's cool. And it says it boosts your immune system about 24 hours.
Oh
So
yeah,
I read
and
about that. Yeah, it
it,
helps to boost your immune system.
absolutely.
God, it just made me think of the old neighborhood.
Why?
No.
The laughter.
The laughter, right? Right. Whatever you use to motivate yourself. Good for you.
So now we're going to calm down.
Yes.
And you're going to show them what you did for me when I was having a little anxiety attack over my nephew.
Yeah. Well, I also was trained by somebody named Louise Hay. She wrote a book that's very, very well known called You Can Heal Your Life. And through it, she teaches people how to use positive mental attitude and affirmations to create a mindset that helps you get through things. And what I did for Valentina, whatever her name is.
I only know her 15 years. 15 years.
That's my recall button. So I did a little relaxation exercise. I don't know if anybody has ever
We'll try
done
it.
it. What you do is close your eyes and take a deep breath and start to relax yourself from the top of your head to your forehead, to your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your mouth, and breathe and see yourself resting and relaxing.
I'm
Down
at a
into
show.
your throat.
We're at a show. Okay.
We
You're
don't
gonna
have
pass
enough
out. I'm tired. You're making
Were you still holding your breath?
Yeah, I was. I'm still holding my breath. I'm
Okay.
turning blue.
Greg's way or my way? My way, you go right down your body, relaxing, closing your eyes to the tip of your toes, and feeling your whole body in a relaxed state to go back to whatever you're doing in a more relaxed state. It's just one of many affirmations and positive mental attitude devices.
Work your way all the way down.
Yep.
You sure you talk to my neighbor?
I don't know.
She had all those techniques.
Anyway, that's from Louise Hay. If anybody out there knows Louise Hay, I was privileged to be trained in her home in San Diego.
Yeah,
See,
she's
you know what?
pretty
Honestly,
popular lady.
all joking aside, all those things, it's really, as you can tell, I'm very hyper. So for me to sit there,
That was
listen, for me to
pointed
sit
right
there,
at you.
I know that.
But your tension level is so hyper because you're so active and your mind is going a million miles an hour. And sometimes you just need to stop.
Yeah, that's not,
And it's hard.
that's right. I try.
Okay?
I do try. Honestly, I tried that woo-sah, whatever woo-sah, and whoever's coming, and I have a friend that says to me, he says to me, he goes, and he was on his way, he says, before I get here, he goes, I just need you, just do it before you get in my house. He goes, I just want you to sit back and just relax.
Exactly.
And then he gave me a bowl.
Okay.
It was a nice bowl. To me, I call it a nice cereal cracker bowl,
You're the kind
but it
of
was a
person
sound bowl.
who needs to gradually focus on something that will work for you, not a bowl, but
Well,
an
it was a
idea.
sound thing.
I'll
I
give you
thought
some
between
words.
that and morphine, it was great.
I'll give you the words, like that Valentina said before. Be here now. In other words, be in the moment, the second that you're here now, for a second.
Right.
And that's it. And then go back to whatever you're doing. You will be more grounded. You will be able to concentrate better.
Yeah, but that's only for short. You're saying be here.
That's it. That's a practice. Well, that's what I'm telling you.
I
The
would say,
practice,
yeah.
I'm saying, the practice is the relaxation.
Right.
Being able to stop for one moment and focus on that moment, be it with your kids in baseball, here here on the podcast, and be here now will take away the fears that you might be thinking about, or the next act that you're thinking about, and bring you into focus for whatever you
Something
want
like
to
that.
do.
Yes, try anything, right?
Always willing. Listen, I'm
Well,
not
you're
joking.
looking, you're
Always
searching.
will, yeah. And so I've tried everything, and I
Nothing works
listen.
forever.
Medicine doesn't even work for me.
Well,
Medicine is
Because
not.
all it'll do, put me to sleep.
Yeah.
well, it depends on what you try.
No, it
and what
doesn't matter. I've
works.
tried everything under the sun. I've tried everything.
I would just even say, like, sometimes when you're here and like or whatever and it's busy, just take a minute. Not even. I think sometimes people drag stuff out.
Right.
Some people
Right,
can sit
right.
and meditate for
Right,
5 to 10
right.
minutes. Maybe you just need 1 minute, just turn around and
That's
put
it.
yourself in a timeout, right?
Yeah. Well, listen,
Hustle,
I
bustle,
have
turn
myself.
around,
Right.
You got it.
You know what I do? Listen,
and
no.
then keep going.
You got it.
You know,
know?
listen, I hide myself in the, well, when I
That's
do the
the
sound,
thing up
I
there.
do the sound and the lighting, so I'm in the booth by myself.
That's a different
And
story.
no. That helps me an awful lot. Okay. That helps me a lot. It really does. Because being,
Okay, so you know the value.
because naturally, I'm out here, and there could be 300
Right.
people, 500,000 people. I will say hello to
Every
everyone.
single person.
Because that's just me. Okay?
That is
One
who
step,
you
step
are
right.
and what you need to do. But there's a moment in your life when you need to just calm
Right.
yourself. Get ready to be that person, that outgoing person. But have a face for
When I
yourself.
shower, and senator, listen to me. When I'm not talking about being naked in the shower.
I'm thinking, what is he talking about? The shower?
No,
What
you
are we
gotta
talking
listen.
about here?
As soon as I get out of the shower, and look, I don't drink much water. Everybody teases me because I brush my teeth in the morning, hop in the shower. When I get home, no matter whatever time it is, brush my teeth, hop into the shower. Now in the morning time, when I hop in the shower, once I dry whatever it is, I'm good to go. And when I'm fully dressed, there's something that I always say, and Erica Fogarty, my dearest friend, and she's like a sister to me. Just lost her husband well over a year ago. Her and I worked in the industry, in the limousine business, and we would get in the elevator, say if we have to go see Sheer Selena, what used to be Sheer Selena back then, Smith or whatever. We would sit in the elevator, we would stay in the elevator, and she's dressed up, and I'm in my suit, whatever, and I look with clothes, and I look at her and I say, showtime.
Mhm.
And that's something
I like
that we
that.
always
That's
use.
good.
So if it was just say, if it was a man that was handling the account, she would do the talking. If it was a female, I would do it. So we were a great team, you know, but I have to say that was probably the only time I was really kind of like relaxed. So in the morning time, even when I get dressed, it doesn't matter. I look and I'll just say quickly, like, you know, I don't sit there and I just say showtime.
But it,
And I just, and I start my
That's
day.
your
your
word.
mind.
I start my
That's
day.
your word, yeah.
That's your word.
But that still doesn't relax me.
It's not about relaxing. It's about being unfocused. It's about understanding that you have to keep your mind in line
Right.
with what you're doing. Because most of the time we're scattered. We're doing
Well, especially when you do that much, like he does.
yeah, you have
He's very
to be
involved in a lot of different facets
And
of
let me just say
business.
one other mantra that I say is, I have an attitude of gratitude.
I love
If
that.
you can't remember anything else, remember attitude of gratitude. That means if you're late, that means if you're not doing everything that you want to do, whatever you're doing, I am so grateful that I'm sitting here today. This is a benefit and a lovely thing for me to do, and I am so grateful for my friend Valentina and you, Greg,
You
and
can rub
Tiffany.
it. Greg also.
No, I'm so glad I have the opportunity to say this, because I want everybody to know that an attitude of gratitude is the best thing you can give yourself.
It's healthy.
It's healthy, the laughter is healthy. I'm all about positive mental attitude and healthy, because there's so much negativity in the world that if we don't shield ourselves from that, then we're all messed up.
Well, and the pandemic was
And the pandemic,
hard on everybody.
everything has been very hard. For the last year, I was out 12 times to go to the supermarket.
And you know, just when you talk about the hustle and bustle of stuff, I always try to tell people, we're always gonna fill ourselves with trying to do. And when you were saying laughing for the health of it, you gotta remember you gotta take a few minutes for yourself for the health of it. Because
Right.
you don't wanna run yourself into the ground because then you'll be gone.
Yeah.
And when you
You
do
won't be
feel
able
it,
to do it.
yeah.
And you know what I gotta tell you? Just just like being in the hospital.
Yeah.
2 weeks. You're sitting there, the phone, I turned around at one point and I said, I don't even want to be on the phone. I never get like that. I don't know how to relax. I try. I really listen.
That's
I
all you
try.
can do.
And you know what?
All you
Even
can
if
do.
I'm away, like books, I used to love to read. Do you know what I do now? Because I don't have time to read. When I watch TV, and when I get home at 3, 4, whatever time I get at 5, 6, after I hop in the shower, I lay in the bed, I have closed caption on. You laugh, boy, but you know why I have it on? Because see, when you watch a movie and you're reading, you read a book. You don't even realize that.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm constantly, because I don't read. People laugh, what do you have the closed caption on? And I said, it helps my mind. Not realizing how much it really did. So my kids even have closed caption on there.
Well, they're following that.
You know?
It focuses you instead of being distracted with all the activity.
Right. Well, activity, I'm in my bed.
Your nose is
Watching
watching
the
the
movies,
Oh,
watching the
I'm
movies.
not even,
What are we talking about here again?
that's a different channel.
No.
You had that
No,
channel. You had that
I
channel.
have it all.
I don't have that channel.
I didn't. She said it, I didn't.
You have that channel? I don't have that.
It should be activity.
Right? No, but.
Sorry, I was misunderstood.
No, the thing is that, even though laying down or even sitting, just doing whatever I'm doing here, I'm already thinking of what has to be done this
What are you
week.
doing later?
Yeah, so it's not even
Right.
later. I'm like 2-3 days ahead of me
Yeah.
all the time.
Get a pen and paper.
That's it. I forget where I write it.
So what? Do it anyway.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
make
saying,
a lot of notes.
what
I
purpose does it serve if I write it down right now here?
Okay.
I leave it here, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, all right, no, I have to grab it. Then all of a sudden I'll get out, you gotta know it. Then all of a sudden I have to get out. I have to leave, so I leave.
And the
Now I
paper's
get where
here.
I have to get, the paper's here. There's no
Got it.
big
Yeah,
deal.
Well,
but
we
you wrote
have-
it down.
Yeah, but that didn't help me. I need the phone.
Yeah, but see, if you were a woman and you had a piece of paper, you could take it and put it right in here.
You're right. You're
I
right.
just use my
And then
phone.
take it out, and it's right there.
Yeah, see, look, I've had everyone grab my phone, and you put the only thing that works on this phone, and I love, is at 10 o'clock, it goes, bam, 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 just to wake me up, because I go to bed like around 5:36,
Yeah,
and I wake up at 10, 10:30.
Oh, so
And
you're
it's the
night
only
owl.
thing, so to me, to remember things where people go, all right, well, I have a Kiwanis meeting, I have a Mason meeting, whatever it is, and you turn around and, okay, at 6 o'clock, it'll remind me.
Okay.
Wait, no, 6 o'clock, it'll remind me, it means at 7 o'clock, all right? All of a sudden, I get tired of the phone, we'll talk, whatever it is, now I forget the meeting's at 7 o'clock, so what was the purpose of the calendar? I do understand it does help, but this brain just doesn't snap.
Well,
That's the problem.
that's your mantra,
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yes, he works with it.
yeah, I do, I try really hard,
and keep trying.
yeah.
I call it a
You're gonna go like this,
A what?
I love
A
you, Greg.
discipline.
A discipline.
You'll be resting now.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I
but she
mean,
said
No,
it's
no.
a discipline, she
It's
said.
a discipline.
You know what?
Does it know what a discipline
Let me
is?
just say this, thinking positively that you can conquer anything that you need to is a discipline. You say it, it's an
Right.
affirmation in the present tense. I can accomplish anything I need to.
Well, and some
Okay,
people,
tell her how one, if you're negative,
she'll kill you.
I'll
Yeah.
get rid of you in a minute.
Right.
Listen,
Thank you.
I will listen to, friends I'll listen to.
He'll listen to a
whatever you
problem,
need.
but
But if she starts with whatever it is, I don't want, it's not that I don't care, I don't want her mindset there.
yeah, why
Well, you
not?
have all
So,
the right
you know what I mean?
material.
Right.
Now, it's a question of putting it into play so it supports you in your life. That's
Even
really it.
signs, somebody just working. Someone just put signs up in my bedroom, in my living room, and it's actually.
Those signs, you don't wanna know what they say.
Dude, they're good actually, and it's working, I'm telling you. I have signs in every room now.
Okay, no comment, we're not talking about that, okay? She gives me the nose, wait.
Yes, isn't that a great gift?
No, for
The
your-
nose,
the-
this
the
is the nose knows.
The nose knows.
You ask the nose a question, and the nose knows.
Oh, okay.
So this is for you to have
Cookies.
snacks on the way home.
How are you, Jennifer? Heidi, how are you?
Now, this is
Susan,
also a
Brenda,
little
my neighbor,
package.
love you.
Take your night out.
Michael, how you doing?
Oh, that's
Rosemary
nice.
Gregory, hi, hon.
We
I
have
thought
a
you
bread
forgot about me,
package
Rose.
going on.
Nay, how are you, Nay?
And he's seeing, we've got a lot of
Nasra,
people
how are
writing
you?
in.
Sarah.
Oh, the salad. I can't. See, the print is so small on her phone.
Yeah, I'm
Mine,
not used to
my
it,
neighbors
yeah.
can read my stuff.
Yeah, I have big print
Oh
too.
yeah, this weekend, I forgot, we have VHS band coming on Friday, and Gloria is returning from Undercover.
Oh.
Gloria, she's an amazing woman, and she's helped me a lot with the music and what I should look for, what kind of bands, and besides Phil, I'm not throwing you know, I do love you, Phil. But Gloria's given me a lot of inside stuff that I didn't know about and she sings, I forget it. So, you guys are always welcome.
Tell us
Karaoke.
about it. Tell us about it, because I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, on Fridays and Saturdays, well, we have karaoke on Thursday. Can you sing? Doesn't matter, you can sing it.
Was it karaoke? Does
I can
matter?
listen. I'm a good listener.
Can I say I don't like it when
Can you sing?
professional people come to
That
karaoke
means
and
you
I
can
sing really good?
I love it.
I don't like it. My mom's a singer, and she always like, I love karaoke, and I don't want to say I'm a professional.
Well,
It sounds pretty good in the shower.
No.
No, but like I wasn't to do karaoke, but I'm like, I don't want people that can really sing to come because you make us really sound bad. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
you
no, I
stand on
understand what you're
different
saying.
platform, you let us
Oh,
crazy
okay,
people
okay.
ones
Right.
sing and have fun.
Well, you
Some
have a
months
mix.
like, some months like, oh, karaoke, but you're like, no, you won't because you can sing. So you're
You have a mix.
Love that. Mr. Partner in Life, can you sing? No.
Well, he smiles a lot. You know what he
Smiles a
said?
lot.
Your partner in life is a smiler.
he's a smiler.
Howard,
a
you are a
laugher.
smiler.
That's how we made it 30 years.
Wow.
That's good. I want to say hi to my grandma and grandpa because they're watching. I just saw they're
I'm
watching.
gonna give
that's
Advance, and we're gonna give a shout out to Advance Auto Body.
Oh,
Give it a big shout out,
Yes.
okay?
Great.
Give it a big shout out.
Yeah, and you know
That's
they.
gonna cost you a lot for this one.
Yeah.
All right?
And they were at my
And-
first book launch.
Oh, really?
Yes, they
And-
were. They were.
tire place.
Yes, they were at my first book.
Where are you getting tires?
Goodyear.
Oh, Goodyear. In Hempstead.
You going to Goodyear for your tires?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we call plugs for every?
Yeah.
Easy killer. Yeah, for both. Easy killer.
Oh, you put me on her stage and I'm running.
Yeah, but you're also going to write a book.
I started to write a
She's
book.
going to publish a book with Stephanie.
I am
I
wonderful.
met with Stephanie and I was
She's
very,
a
very,
wonderful woman.
she is amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I don't know, the timing just wasn't right. I couldn't clear my mind and then COVID came and so, but it's on the list.
It's on the list, and she's now also working with our marketing girl too
Excellent. Good,
to
good.
race. So she's like
Oh, yeah.
really pushing up. She's
So I see it, when I see a good thing, I know it. And this is a good
You
thing.
don't have to tell everybody about me. Stop.
Excuse
Okay.
me, this whole thing, if you're part of it, it is great. If Val's part of it, it's amazing. This woman is such a dynamo. I have
Oh,
never
God.
met anybody. No, really.
Okay.
Let's give her.
nah. He gives me.
This
He
one
gives
together.
You know, when I had no job, I went to the Breakfast Club and I met a few people, and I got a little job here, and
That's great.
I got a little job there, and then I met another geek, and he helped me. So the Breakfast Club is a place to come and meet and greet and eat, right?
Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
You can do a lot of things in the breakfast club. Anyway,
And the Breakfast Club is here because of them.
Sure.
Now.
Oh,
We got a
wow.
home. This is great. We meet here once a month. Soon, first
Super.
meeting will be in May, and you'll be the speaker.
That's right. Eliza, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Shirley writes, hey, Tiff.
That's my grandma. That's my
Oh,
Grandma.
My grandpa.
Can grandma cook?
Yes, me and my grandma
Grandma.
actually bake together.
She has a cake company
Yes,
too.
we do bake
But I want
She
to-
makes cakes too.
What you want to cook?
Anything. Anything home cooked, I take. I love.
Yeah, she
So
has a
anyway,
cake. She
I want to
does
thank you guys so much. Ooh, she made those cookies.
Oh no, I don't make
Like
this.
2 years ago.
I can't even.
2 years ago, they were in the same bag. It was in her apartment.
We do make delicious. We're actually making fruit tarts for Easter.
Are you?
Listen, yeah, to have hard.
I bought her little homemade liquor that she made. I bought that 2 months ago.
Well, I'm a bartender. I'm a certified bartender.
Wow,
I did that some years
You'll
ago.
never be unemployed.
Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, I make little drinks and stuff.
So I wanted to thank you guys so much for being on the show. It was
It's a nice show, really,
really
really
special.
fun.
It was
I
special,
loved
for
it.
sure. Yes.
You're a good team, you two.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
are.
love to laugh.
Yeah.
Don't go wrong with two laughing people.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
And there she goes. That's it. I hope she's not watching. I want to thank our sponsors. That's Rihanna Restaurant. Danny, you really are something. I went to go see it with another friend.
Oh, good.
Steve Murphy. The Murph, Murph.
Yeah. Oh, good.
The Bloody Mary mix. It's a great Bloody Mary mix. You have to try it one day.
Mhm.
And the restaurant is 348 East Jericho Turnpike.
What's
And
the name?
he's wonderful.
Casa
The
Rihanna.
crew is wonderful. Everyone there is wonderful. And we want to thank Tranquility Spa right there on 700
And
Franklin
you're going.
Avenue. You definitely have to go. You're gonna love that.
You're going, you gotta give certificates.
You want
And
to
you're going.
relax? That's definitely a place to definitely go to relax. And
Terrific.
listen, after she relaxes, you have to take her to Oral Puro, which is our jeweler. Okay, that's tight. He's located at 1033 Hempstead Turnpike.
Great
For
guy.
your jewelry night, he's a great guy. You know, him and Christina. And then we have Mr. Prince. Oh, I gotta give a quick shout out. Mr. Prince and Jackson Hewitt, right there, 978 Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Avenue, for all your tax needs. If you have any problems or you don't have problems, he knows the right way, the safe way, and you know, he's just an amazing guy. And I have to give good morning, Mickey. How are you, love? And Andre, he's a radio TV guy and LIR guy radio. It's way before your time. And what happens is we have a gathering every month, and he's the guy who's just such a great guy. And that's basically it.
That's it.
And I'd like to thank you guys very much. Welcome back again, love.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
very
so
well
happy
missed.
to be back.
You're very well missed.
I'm really
And it's
glad to
definitely
be
not the
back.
same. I gotta tell you, it really isn't. See, she's used to doing, like, if I can't show up, whatever, she's used to doing everything. You know what I mean? So it's like Greg's there, Greg's not there, it doesn't matter. No, I don't mean
It
that.
does
I don't mean
matter.
that way. But when I sat there and I had my friends, it wasn't the same because she's so used to being in my stuff. And it's like, oh, this is what I was getting. Susan, really quickly, I need a petition.
Yeah, he
Keep
wants a
them
petition.
from touching his stuff.
Put it, yeah, so that
Right here. That's what I meant to tell you before. I buffered it and it came back. So something like this that she can't, she goes. And I'm like, you stay on your side, I stay on my side. But anyway,
Sure, right through that.
So wait a minute, you're co-directors. You do a great job together.
Well, we do,
yeah,
yeah.
we do a great, you kidding me?
Are you kidding? We've
Yeah.
done,
Maintain the peace.
and we
That's
do,
it.
but that's part of the show. We don't
That's for sure.
always have peace. We like it better that way.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it, really, and it works. You know, it's certain things that aren't broken don't fix.
That's right.
Exactly.
And I only meant that because of my lady's back.
Yeah, thank God.
Because I've never been to the Empire State Building. I mean, the Statue of Liberty. When I was a kid, I really don't remember. I do remember going,
We went to
but
school trip.
my grandmother, she was like, I'm not going up the stairs. So I never went. So I had mentioned that, and then Susan went and brought the lady to me.
Oh.
Isn't that nice? Susan is
Susan picked
on
her
our
up, and she
board
made it.
now for the
That's
Breakfast
it.
Club
She's
as
amazing.
well. She's
So
a member of the
anyway,
board.
again, thank you, and it's a
It's a wrap.
Yeah.